Alright, we're back with Carthage. It's chaos, but despite it all, we pulled through last session and we managed to secure Rome for ourselves. It was a hell of a fight. If you didn't see it, screw this stream, go and watch that, because I think that's the pinnacle of luck, both for myself and for the game coming together there. Regardless, we were the victors there, so we'll write the history books. That said, our nation is drained. Pretty damn drained. We've been constantly at no manpower, no sailors, and very little by the way of money. What money we did earn in this war, we had to immediately dunk onto embracing the institutions in order to keep tech. I wouldn't even say competitive, but at least enough to keep us alive. Finally got ourselves an idea slot, and I'm going to disgust myself by going humanism, because I'm never going to get everything converted to animism, and it's a pretty big problem that almost everything is wrong religion and always will be. I can't remember the last time I took humanism. Maybe when I played the Mongols, when I raced Bain Williams on that. I'm disgusted with myself, but it's gotta be done. I mean, how could I even convert Rome like this? Minus 9.2 chance there. Even religious ideas won't save me there. Right, well, we're coring up what we can, which is to say everything. We don't have any targets right now because our nation is in shambles. I can't afford an army. What army that I do have is drinking deeply from our non-existent well of manpower. Just lots of things are going bad, and to make matters worse, the next chaos is going to be a brutal one, and I've got a lot of brutal things in line for it. What I'm going to do to begin with is set up Morocco as my rival, because they're the most obvious target for me. I managed to split their nation in half and steal almost all of their fortifications. They just have Tangiers, and Tangiers is in a corner. So that allows me free reign of crushing the rest of their country. Unfortunately for me, their military tech is up to date with regards to mine, and to make matters worse, their army is significantly bigger than mine, and unlike me, they have manpower. What they don't have are subjects, though. I do have 6,000 subject units ready to run around. They also don't have their army stuck together, so if I got the jump on that 7k, I'd reduce him to being smaller than what I can muster, but he could always just merc up or army up and slaughter me, so I'm not sure I can jump straight into that. Honestly, I'm not sure what I can do, but let's get going and plow forward regardless. We will not be converting to Christianity, so let's uncheck that and hope that the AI doesn't get any funny ideas about doing so. Black flagged units are over here. They're going over so that they can be transported back home. I would love to fight Aragon. Unfortunately for me, France would love to fight me if I fought Aragon. The moment France drops that guarantee, I'm really wanting to go and fight them, because now with Aragon's fleet smashed, I'm confident that Krellin, our admiral bestowed upon us by whatever pagan gods we have, would be able to take care of whatever's left of his driftwood. Looks like forcing a ruler to 000 will be need, blah blah. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Not going to look into that right now. What I'm going to look into is getting my units back home. Oh, I've got a free diplomat because we managed to upgrade ourselves to kingdom rank. What a happy day for us. Excellent. Okay, what are we going to do with that? I'm still spying on Morocco as well, I should. I've got a Kushti relationship with Castile, but it could always be Kushtir. Otherwise, I don't think we're going to be going to... Wait, what? We're a great power as well? Okay, sure. Dang, I gobbled up more development than I thought there, but there we are at 3. Oh, of course, it's not just the development, it was catching up in institutions. We're no longer eating that 133%. Wow, number 6 great power is Carthage. We're on top of the world. Not only that, we can't have the Papal State as a rival anymore. We've got to look to Venice, Naples, Mamluks are Hungary, and I'm thinking Naples. Well, Naples isn't really hated by anybody, so I wouldn't gain a whole lot by turning on them. I need to think about this diplomatically. No, I think it's going to be Naples. Screw Naples. Whew. Could you include the fact that Carthage is a custom nation in the title? No, I think we should just take the sword to people who stupidly keep asking if Carthage is a custom nation. Let's send the galleys back home with the rest of them. Let's also look towards selling this Karak. And let's give Krellin... No, Krellin's fast. We'll keep you there. Hopefully our good friends in Castile are wanting one. Oh, but Castile's at war, so they're almost certainly not going to... You can't sell ships while you or the recipient are at war. And they're running a deficit with loans, so they're not going to be having any of that. They're also doing that. Hey, France is at peace. Would you like a ship that you're probably going to use against me? The answer is they would not, because they're massively in debt. If they're so in debt, could you kindly not save Aragon? You're a real piece of work, France. How about my good ally, Savoy? Someone's gotta want this ship. And yes, my ally does want it. Great. I need that 60 ducats, and I need it now. It'd be really funny if I sold it to the wrong person. Thankfully, I did not. 500 ducats is peanuts for now. Yeah, but I'd still rather they didn't defend Aragon, because what I want to do is release Sicily as a subject and reconquer these provinces, because think about what I just took and how much it cheesed off the Christian world. It cheesed them off a lot, and I can't afford to have Christians coalitioning me, or that'll be the end of my presence in Italy. Well, we know that's not how it would go down. It would be the end of my ally Savoy's existence in the Genoa trade node. That seems a much more accurate way of putting how it will go. Absolutely, take all the military access you need, Castile, just don't hate me. Painful as it is, I think I'm going to have to look towards... Can I get you down here in time? Yes, I can. I'm going to have to look towards Morocco as a very swift person to attack. I need to keep growing, and sometimes you got to grow by feasting on the remains of others. That corruption is painful. I gotta save money, but that means gaining corruption constantly. But I bleed money. Oh well. Hopefully I can secure the gold off of Morocco, and that will solve some of my fiscal issues. But it won't solve all of them. Let's not get ahead of ourselves there. Let's pick up all of our units and march on over to Morocco and start eyeing them up as a target. Does Aragon have any alliances you could exploit to avoid France joining in? Manly Mantua, but they're inland and also besieged by Castile. I think what I need is to find that moment where France doesn't want to help them. Me being a crusade target, I had no idea that that added +10 to call to arms, but there it does. That's a damn shame. France dropped their guarantee of Aragon before. I'm hoping that they drop it again, possibly once Aragon gets ravaged by Castile. Possibly. Hey Jake, how you liking the new DLC? I mean, it's too early days for me to say if I like it or not. Obviously, like everything that I wanted to put in it that got into it. Alright. Morocco's the obvious thing to go for here, so we gotta go for them. I don't want to have any turn of the month where my ships are at sea, because I desperately need my sailors back. My poor, poor sailors. What's this galley doing out here? Get back. You're costing me sailors that I don't have. I'm trying to think of a time where sailors have been as important as they are to me in this campaign right now. Ever. That was ever, not never. I wish to be in a position where I can declare war on Naples, is what I might say, but look at that. France, Bohemia, Ferrara, what's left of the Papal State. None of that's good news for me. And the Papal State still has a pretty good selection of allies themselves. Pirate Nexus campaign? Were sailors really a problem then? I wouldn't claim to remember. Just wondering if there's anywhere worth putting claims on. But anything in Italy is going to make me an enemy of all of the Catholic world, so I can't really go for that. What I could consider is finding myself another friend. Someday we'll have more diplomatic relations. Timbuktu, Yolof. Oh man, there's gold down there if I really wanted Dosh, but I want to stick to what I'm setting out to conquer here. Did I see Finland? No, I saw Friesland. Portugal is not impossible to get as a friend, and they may be a really good friend to have. They'd be like a backup Castile, and the fact that they like each other works to my benefit, even though I want to wrestle this off of Portugal at some time. So I'm going to invest in improving relations with them. And I'm even going to go so far as to... Which two provinces do we share of vital interest? These two. I'll go so far as to no longer have those as vital interest. I'd like to set myself to friendly, but I need better relations with you. I'll try, because I need friends, especially if really bad, brutal things get rolled. Does France want Savoyard land by any chance? Most likely, but I think they need to integrate their subjects before they start going for that. Also, they've allied Savoy. Savoy can be a real trap nation in that regard. You think you're safe, and then France goes, oh, by the way, you're of vital interest. And they go, oh, defending me is vital interest? And they go, in a manner of speaking. Manner. Right, get yourselves down there. Meet up with everybody, and then head over to eye up Morocco. That's right, we're getting local noble.png. Lithuania's gone into Golden Horde land. They maintain an alliance with Poland. They might actually come out better than PLC would on their own. Provence is now the excommunicated one, no longer Florence. I don't mind Provence, but I don't want Papal State getting much stronger because I have a feeling they're going to be rather vengeful for what I did to them. I did bad things to the Pope, and I would do it again with half the chance. Death to the Papists. Let's get you folks back here. Get you linked up. There's no rebels that are about to pop up. Whatever a Spoletini is, sounds Italian, they want to rise up. Fighting Morocco is extremely tempting, but that's a dangerous thing to say for a man in election arm's reach. Then again, he has no friends. Then again, he's got 21,000. I don't have a hope in hell of having 21,000. Best bet that I could reasonably do is flesh myself out with a mercenary company, but those cost money. And some of them cost abusive amounts of money that I just simply don't have. And the maintenance for just those 7 guys would be through the roof for me. You know what? Let's just puff out our chest as much as we can. You got plenty of time, Jake. 2.5 years away still. Yeah, but I need time to rebuild my manpower, which is what I need to take on Morocco. Unless I did some really reckless stuff to afford mercs to swell myself out to beat him up. Then again, if I took out that 7k, I don't know, it's really, really risky to fight Morocco. Don't forget you can hire cannons now. Yeah, at even more personal expense. I don't think I can afford it. Let's bide our time for the moment. I'd love to go in all guns blazing, but it just takes a really bad thing to follow up at. Oh god, he's drilling. He's asking to be killed. If he's drilling, he wouldn't reinforce that 7k. I would smash it and then smash the rest of him. But if I got unlucky and my army got shattered, there wouldn't be a lot that I could throw back in his face. It's just too damn risky. I need to save some money. And some manpower. And build a bigger army. Bah, who needs manpower? You just beat Papal's Naples without it. Nah. Milan and Genoa were involved in that as well. All in all, it was a terrifying time. Why am I even paying for my navy? I should drop fleet... Well, because it doesn't matter much. But it still matters some. And Jinx, the only thing keeping me afloat here is the fact that I have war reparations coming in. But the sooner I take Tafilalt, the better. There's so much in the balance here. I honestly don't know what the best thing to go for here is. Wouldn't be a bad idea to also think what my friends would say about fighting Morocco. I could offer up their land to Castile in order to involve Castile if they weren't in this other war. Well, okay, Castile is drowning in debt. I hope that's not so much debt that they wouldn't save poor little me. Would they save Portugal? No? Okay. Oh god, I could be attacked and then Castile would say no? Even though I'm the crusade target, for the love of all things holy, Castile, piece your country together. If only Jake wasn't a merchant republic, but a regular one with access to estates, then selling crown land would be a good source of money. Yeah, it would be pretty great, but it's not. Not an option, that is. This also might come sooner if Grand Consul Hamilcar decides to bite the dust. Careful conqueror. What a guy. I wonder if I could threaten war with you. Yeah, no way you're going to take that. But I do have a couple of cores on you. It would probably be the reconquest for those, and I'd take Tafilalt for myself. I'd probably just take the south and leave the north. Leave the north for the Iberians if they get hungry, but take the south so that the gold is mine and I only have one direction to care about in future wars. Besides, the trade goods aren't so bad around here. Sugar, spice, and everything nice here. On the plus side, Jake, you could punch Portugal square in the jaw and barely worry. Okay, so it's kind of good for me that Castile and Portugal are together because it strengthens them, and strengthening them is strengthening me. As long as they're together, it's unlikely one or t'other would turn on me. Portugal fights me, Castile won't be happy and saves me. At least that's the way I see it. Dang, it is hard to get better relations with Portugal because I border them, and they don't like that at all. I could send a really, really well-penned insult to Morocco, and that might be enough to flip them over. I think that's exactly what I'll do. I'll try to get Portugal on my side. They are not racked with war, are they? Well, they're at war, but they're not racked with it, so maybe I could invite Portugal, because it's not the end of the world if they get Tangiers, unless that would unlock them getting a lot more land around here, or claims around here, because that would blow for me. Anybody know the Portuguese mission tree better than I do? If they take Tangiers, how much more do they get? Or rather, does Tangiers block them from getting all this? Because I could say give them these two provinces that I don't care about. I don't care about this land right now because it's all part of the Seville trade node. Sounds oddly not greedy of you. I need to spare my life, JJ. I know you're still bitter about certain fuel-related incidents. Right, I'm going for governing capacity because mine is gimped as a merchant republic. It looks fine there, but then you consider that I pay 25% extra, which is awful. It means even my capital state contributes towards it. We're gonna get huge, so we need to work towards that. Even if state maintenance and global trade power would both be good for me right now, let's get that. Also reminds me, I now have power in Genoa, but I also have power in Safi. So I'm going to collect in Safi using the guy that's wasting away in Alexandria right now. Gotta squeeze every penny I can. They need more than just Tangiers to get more claims, but they do get them. Okay, so basically deny them Tangiers as long as they require that. I don't want them to get it. As long as Morocco doesn't get Tech 8 ahead of me, it should be alright to go gung-ho into them. You put the merchant in Sevilla, not Safi. I'm glad somebody noticed that, because that would be pretty bad. I was just giving him a waypoint. What do we have here? Aragon has gone bankrupt. And they'll cede a lot of land to Castile. Bankrupt, you say? Unfortunately, France still wants to help you. Damn, that's just begging for me to go and destroy his sorry ass. But it's not gonna happen. How about Morocco? Yeah, Castile is riddled with debt. But if they weren't riddled with all of these problems, they would have to not be riddled with all those problems. Jake, Sardinia is free. Correction. Sardinia was, for the love of God, Switzerland? Well, there wasn't a Switzerland a while ago. There is now. 7,000 units. There's a small problem with Sardinia. It's still Catholic land, and that would invite a lot of anger from more Catholics. I can't afford that right now. So much as I'd love to take them, it can't be done. The difference about Aragon's land is it would be a reconquest war, so people wouldn't really care about me. We'll grab Sardinia, but not right now, and it's not like they're going to be going anywhere, so I'll go and get them later on. Somebody suggested adding this to a trade company. I already have my full core in Roma. I'm not sure it's worth my time making it a trade company instead of full cores. I'm not sure, since I already have that. I think I'll add you, though. Why not? Clunk. I'll check the modifiers, because I don't know if they've changed or not. Switzerland wouldn't be a problem if I didn't already have Rome right now, but I do have Rome, so it's a problem. I thought it was the Pope in Rome, oh heavens, no. We're a whiter colour. Means we're better than them. Alright, I've done all I can to get Portugal on my side, and it's worked. They will, barely, but they will ally me. Puts me a little over my relations, but that is fine. Just better to be safe than destroyed. And that also allows me to eye up Morocco. Portugal, what do you think about this? Portugal thinks that they're in debt, but if they weren't horribly in debt, they would like to do that. So once they pay that off, or even pay a bit of it off and deal with their manpower and such, they'll be coming in to help, or so I hope. Need to keep a close eye on this, right? I need the independence guarantee from France to be gone, and then Aragon will be also gone. Does being animist hit the offer vassalization modifier a lot? You could try that. What would that have to do with the offer vassalization? I can't marry them, and I'm a republic. Both of those things work against me. Owns Sardinian core province. Ceremony disrupted. I lose 10 of my massive amounts of prestige. I think that fires when you're under 80 tradition. Thankfully these are relatively balanced, so I'll leave that be. Touché, Jake. I know my stuff. I just don't know all of my stuff. Damn you, France. Okay, well, it's unfortunate, but sometimes you just need to let your country breathe. During this time, I'm strengthening up. If I were able to get 20,000 units of my own, I would have no problem gunning face first into Morocco. I also don't have penalties thanks to institutions. But it's also good to know they're not going to get Miltech 8 anytime soon either, despite this guy's direction. He's raiding me again. Get the hell off my coasts, man. Could do without you. Savoy likes me, but they could love me. I might also want to consider smooching up to the HRE. It's Austria. It's looking pretty solidly Austria. Well, let's just go for that, although I don't know if he's going to eat the bad end of France anytime soon. You're about to hit the Diplo cap, Jake. Don't I know it? I'm thinking about this. I'd also like to own Tafilalt so I could turbo develop it. Alternatively, I could take a Diplo idea instead of Humanist, but I kind of need Humanist. Let's just take the docks. Ugh. I'd say the army needs a vacation to the South Chinese Sea. Well, Napalm, that's kind of the reason why I'm not going to war quite so soon. We've got our election in a couple of years, well, less than a couple of years, and if I was at war during that time, it may be the equivalent of surrendering in that war. It wouldn't be that, but could well be the equivalent. Why do I have extra Diplo relations? Ah yes, disperse power across the cities is giving me an extra. I wish I had Carthaginian ideas flowing, because then I could get an extra 2, but for now I'll have to make do with this. These crappy subjects of mine are taking some of that up. Okay, I'm actually going to take tolerance pretty swiftly. Tech is good because it'll stop me drowning in corruption. Would it? No, we're not that unbalanced actually. Regardless, I need this. I need religious unity. Ah, feels better already. It's not really good in my country, but now it's slightly better. It's giving me revolt risk across the whole place, which is not nice. Ready Zone says, the nice white piece was too juicy, but we failed. Maybe I shouldn't have failed. They want to know about the Maghreb for 1 province. That'll give us 10 prestige. That is a great deal. For them, it's a terrible deal, but don't tell them that. Okay, let's just keep the army bolstered. That way, if I am in a position to fight Morocco post-election, then I'll do it, but it's just a year away. Keeping your power for brutal elections is a risk as well. I know, but better the devil you know. We can afford trade company investment. I can afford things? Steady now. Might be the only thing I get to afford is a view of the South Chinese Sea. I want it fully cored so I can autonomize it and then have less to care about when it comes to rebels. Oh god, not that again. Let's see. Right. Somebody want to remind me what the trade company regions do? Or rather, if it's changed anything here, because the autonomy cap at 90 is going to be a bit painful. Alright, I think I'm just going to be sitting on my thumb until it's election time. Thankfully though, I still have my navy, and I'm building up those sailors so that if worst comes to worst, I can click my fingers and bring up a navy once more. You might think, wow, Jake's doing alright in terms of money, but really it's a money deficit thanks to the corruption which is building up. It removes the autonomy floor and production exchange for 25% government capacity. Just on production, you say? Give me that mill power. To hell with inflation. We already paid it down before. Well, it's nice to actually get that production income. But lack of manpower, lack of force limit. Rough. The rebellion in Aragon are the nobles. Even if they rebelled here with the Sicilian land, it's still just more nobles, which is really unfortunate. I could do with not that. Oh, Krellin's dead already? They must have suffered some horrible wound that did not get better after all that warring. There's some good land around here. Good land that I should consider taking for myself. But I think I'll go for this. Not focus on this land, focus down south. Let's bring you back so I have a bit of freedom in terms of what I can do diplomatically. It's not even a year until the election. Portugal are close to wanting to join in, but they still need to pay off a bit of their debt. I could pay it off for them, but I'm not going to. I'm not that stupid. Maybe it's not stupidity, maybe it's more naivety. It would be nice if I had a guy that I hired and he would actually offset his own cost a bit. That's kind of why I'm looking at this guy. He would at least bring in a bit of production efficiency, and I need that admin. So he doesn't pay himself off entirely. Oh, Tlemcen becomes animist. A light unto the world, our faith gives us peace and security. We have no need to oppress others. Even those in the darkest depths of pagan beliefs, we can see how God encourages the respect of all humankind. Nice. Get out of here, Sunnis. This is animist town. We could celebrate by turning them Phoenician, but we won't. Hell, I could do the same to Fez, but this is not a cultural enrichment run. We got Renaissance ahead of Aragon? That's a bad joke. Venice have announced us as a rival. I could consider Venetian rivals as my friends down the line. Well, I don't really want to get involved in whatever Hungary's going to be doing. The Ottomans don't look that strong right now, which is kind of good, but they border Mamluks, so they could change that pretty soon. How goes the Neo-Punic Wars? Well, the first one went our way in the end. Took quite a bit to get that way. Like I said, the fight was pretty amazing. We're sorely missing the whack 5% conversion strength events. Those did peter out because they got swamped by all the other events that are in the game. But so be it. Animist Zealot's a possibility for Marrakesh. I should make sure Marrakesh like me, because once I get their land back from Morocco, I want them integrated ASAP. So I'll start improving their relations. Wow. I could actually get an Austrian alliance. Seems madness. Why would they love me so much? Friendly Austrian opinion. How tempting is that? How strong are they? They haven't really grown at all. I'm not sure that's a good deal for me. They might get involved in a lot of French fights that aren't my cup of tea. After conquering all of Rome, they want you to be their friend. I think I'll leave Austria there. I wasn't expecting an alliance possibility with them, but I just have this deep feeling that it's not a great deal for me. Genoa, Trier, Salzburg, Palatinate. Oh god, they really call out to me. That's a lot of safety and sanctitude. Costs a lot of dip though, but let's do it. Just takes friends attacking an HRE for me to be in trouble though. And they would force me to choose between Castile and Austria as an ally. You need more friends that you can lose to the chaos, says Kitten. Well, there is that. Also, the Spalotis wish to rise up. Where even? What's a Spaloti? Those are papals. There they are. Would they just stay there, or would they go elsewhere? They would travel around the buggers. I might be able to do them in, though, if I just autonomize a bit. Better go after Aragon before the inheritance. No, we've got a king and another male coming. Whilst there's a male and a male here, so barring an unexpected Regency Council, I should be safe in that regard. And France is keeping Aragon unfairly safe. Really, really want France to drop that, but I don't know if and when they ever would. Surely they're over on Diplo relations. Maybe they have some kind of buff hitting them because they have the subject stuff at the start. Maybe. Is it still worth it keeping your tiny marches around over the Diplo limit? Yes and no. Probably mostly no, but their little armies have helped out before. Oh, here we go. Well, I'm glad we built up that strength while we could. The term is up for Hamilcar. Hamilcar is a legend in Carthage history now. He's lived long, stayed in control, he learned a lot on the job, and he secured Rome. But regardless of that, it's time for our brutal chaos. Let's bring up that poll. Okay, what's up on the cards here? I better check myself because I have a spreadsheet where I keep all this. We could be forced to observe the nation for 4 years. The AI is not going to be particularly good at handling our disjointed nation. We could force our army to march over to the Chinese Sea, all of it. We could be crippled with 20 inflation. We could be forced to have 0 army and navy maintenance for the duration of, well, until the next election. Or we could be forced to release Tunis as a vassal. They're all pretty brutal in my humble opinion. But I don't decide what gets drawn, you do. The vote is on now. Wait, the content does not meet guidelines? They mustn't like one of the words here. What do they not like? Chinese? Brutal? Let's just call it chaos vote. Do you like that? No. Do they really not like the word Chinese? Twitch is not allowing me to run this poll right now. Do they not like the word inflation? Okay, they probably don't like the word vassal then. They did not like the word vassal. Okay, there we go. Regardless, the vote is on, and there it is. What's gonna happen? They're all pretty bad. I don't want any of them, but you'll be deciding which one goes on. I can't throw any favoritism behind any of them. Observing nation for 4 years runs a risk of losing what we gained in Rome to rebels, marching an army to the Chinese Sea. We'll probably go on for longer than the duration of the election itself. 20 inflation is a big hit to admin and finances. 0 army and navy maintenance hits me. I can't really start any wars, and if one gets started, I'm ravaged. And releasing Tunis is pretty damn bad. Well now, it seems there are a lot of people that want to view the Sea. I wonder if I can come up with something else and justify that that'll be where we're going. No, we're onwards to the Chinese Sea. Okay, this will be a bit rough and a bit tough. Actually, it's going to be a lot worse than the 0 maintenance. At least then I'd still have an army. This is our army, and they have to go all the way to the Chinese Sea. We're going to keep Hamilcar around because he's pretty great, although our Republican tradition is hurting for it. How do we get to China? Well, we're going to have to get a lot of military access along the way. We have to make sure that our friends, Portugal, Castile, and Austria, defend us in the time being. And we're going to need a lot of diplomats in order to get our way across. Definitely not wanting to pay my army on the way, but let's go. At least we can see the way, but it's long. Let's go. Let's try not to think about what happens to our country while we're away. I may have to use a lot of this mill on harsh treatment just to keep rebels at bay.